The Chief Fire Officers' annual two-day conference begins here in Tullamore in County Offaly. Chairman of the Chief Fire Officers Association, Patrick Fleming of Dublin Fire Brigade, is calling on the government to provide additional funding for local authority fire services. Up to 50 exhibitors from the fire trade and industry from Ireland, Northern Ireland, the UK and from across Europe attended the conference, showcasing their products and services to delegates. The internal and external exhibition areas consist of manufacturers and providers of the various firefighting equipment, PPE, engineers and builders of fire appliances and vehicles, communications and technology, health and safety, academics and training, plus much more.
So what are the changes in entertainment licensing at the minute? Well, we have big issues with connections with entertainment, with liquor. Licensing administration has been 30 years old. We had to resolve it. Very heavy in terms of administration. So we thought we can't be a bit like the Lady of Shalott, sitting in her ivory tower and, pretend to be unaware of this whole world that's going on around us. So we went to the Minister and we said to the Minister, we need to do something about this.
The theme of this year's conference is Emerging Trends and the Challenges to the Fire Service. Over the 2 days, delegates heard from 12 keynote speakers on various topics such as the Local Government Change Programme, Major Emergency Management in Ireland, crowd safety at large outdoor events, event licensing in Ireland and Northern Ireland, health and safety, quality assurance systems, and developments in Copenhagen, the Danish Fire Service, and the current and future trends for fire and rescue response in Spain. There were also 3 tech talks from different companies. In his opening address, Chairman of the Chief Fire Officers Association, Pat Fleming, referred to the progress being made by the fire service in Ireland over the past year. He also called on the government to increase the level of funding being made available to the local authorities for fire service. He said current expenditure by local authorities on fire and rescue service is $267 million per annum. Proper station facilities are essential for maintaining the delivery of a fire service. Fire appliances are the workhorses of the service, he said, and it's regrettable that there has been no fleet capital funding provided in recent years.
Equipment again, a lot of standard equipment and specialist equipment related to identified risk and matched to identified risk. And I've just used the rivers there as an example. The urban areas or the bigger city areas, the brigades can and do make a real difference in terms of being able to get to the rivers and rescue people, in very short periods of time. And that's as appropriate as it should be, that the infrastructure is used in communities. On the staffing levels in stations,
while the National Director for Fire and Emergency Management welcomes the call for increased funding, he explains the various aspects of funding and says the fire service expenditure has been protected and his department provides capital support at national level through a grant system.
Well, there's 2 aspects to the funding. One is the revenue expenditure, which local authorities themselves provide every year. They provide the bulk of the money. 267 million has been a consistent level for the last 4 years, at a time when local authority expenditure generally has been dropping. So fire services expenditure has been protected. At national level, we in the department provide capital support through a grant system which enables them to build fire stations, to buy fire appliances, to buy equipment, and we're also supporting obviously the Camp 2, which is the replacement of first generation fire brigade mobilisation and communication system. That particular project is well underway. It's a new budget line back in, and I think Mr Fleming's call is probably reflecting demand coming. I think generally our infrastructure will be regarded as good. Our fire stations, there's obviously some projects to be done, and they will be, I expect, a programme will be announced again fairly shortly. For those, we'd also expect to be announcing procurement of new appliances again. We have a strong fleet, I would say, at the moment, including a strong fleet of specialist appliances. Obviously, that's something that's kept under review in the overall scheme of the department expenditure, and fire services have had good expenditure. Obviously, it fell during the tough years, the austerity years. We were on the way back up last year, and so we have a reasonable level of expenditure. We have 8 million again this year to spend, so that will see our priority jobs through again this year.
Training and education are 2 key components for the fire service, and in County Carlow, both Carlow Fire and Rescue Service and the Institute of Technology Carlow provide that. Carlow Fire and Rescue Service has constantly developed and improved its ability to deliver the highest possible standard of breathing apparatus training and compartment fire behaviour training available from the county's Training and Development Centre in Hackettstown.
Running almost 13 years now this year, and I suppose it's grown from strength to strength. Initially it started out as a breathing apparatus training facility for our own brigade, and then other brigades started to make use of it. We've got some funding from the department in relation to expanding it. Wexford Fire Service have just recently been there for a number of weeks. Donegal Fire Service are coming in 2 weeks' time to run 3-week training out there as well. So there's a number of brigades, including our own, using it at the moment. We just recently finished the construction of a new 3-storey detached residence, which is now being commissioned and will be available for use for the other brigades in the next number of weeks. We have an industrial type unit that we use where we light real fires. We can use smoke inside the building, but it's predominantly BA with search procedures. And then we have a number of compartment fire behaviour training units also. We run a range of training courses, as you know, for firefighters and for commercial industry as well. Predominantly breathing apparatus and compartment fire behaviour training, but we also run road traffic collision training, heavy rescue vehicle training. We've done a number of recruit firefighter training, and we're hoping to, I suppose, just increase the range of courses that we're offering at the moment.
The Institute of Technology Carlow provides a programme for Bachelors of Business in Emergency Services. This programme is aimed at fire and ambulance personnel, members of the Defence Forces and safety officers.
Our programme is a Bachelor of Business in Emergency Services. It's a 4-year honours degree programme, and it is specifically focused on people in fire and emergency services, and it gives them both a business and management qualifications along with specifically emergency service focused modules. The programme is delivered by industry experts. For example, we have ex-chief fire officers, we have experts in the area of CISM, emergency services, and we also have experts on business and management modules. Students get a level 8 honours degree after 4 years, and I suppose what the student also gets is expertise in the areas of business management and emergency, and it allows them progress into both from an education point of view into level 9 master's qualifications, and also it gives them the opportunity to progress within their chosen careers. We look after the Defence Forces, all their education and the management of the education quality assurance of all the Defence Force programmes, and that accounts for hundreds of students graduating each year.
Now, the Chief Fire Officers Conference brings with it many exhibitors from various backgrounds who are eager to promote their product and service. Emergency Times takes a look at some of those exhibitors.
We are main suppliers of home natural rescue equipment, but we also carry full ranges of PPE, road signage, chemical suits, basically everything that the firefighters and fire brigades need in the country.
We're 20 years in the fire protection business, mainly involved up to date to portable firefighting extinguishers, hose reels and fire blankets, and we've recently branched in to supplying a range of products to the fire and rescue business.
Yeah, of course. What this is a compact line developed by Rosenbauer International out in Austria, and it's a fairly new concept that's been brought over to the UK of such. What the intention is to use this as an initial first response vehicle, enabling a crew to get on site, to get on scene, and then send a sit rep back to the brigade and say, look, we need a bigger appliance to come out to tackle a fire further, or this has an extinguishing capability that will be able to do car fires, rubbish fires, and initial attacks on in-fire attack sort of situations.
Every year the conference is held in a different county, and in its 58th year running, this is Offaly County Council's second time to host the event. The first occasion was in 1998 under the then Offaly Fire Chief and Conference Secretary Derry O'Kelleher. 17 years later, Derry's son Owen brings the conference back to Offaly.
Up to 3 to 4 years ago, there was a large investment within the fire service in terms of the capital programme, in terms of the fleet and equipment. We're at a very high level in terms of our fleet, and in order to keep this at this level and to keep them at a good operational level, further investment is needed so we can maintain the standards that we currently exist. The exhibitors make a very important contribution to this event, not only in terms of being here, but they also support the event, and without them it would not happen.
The Chief Fire Officers' annual two-day conference ends here in Tullamore in County Offaly. Among many of the issues raised here today was health and safety, event management, event licensing and major emergency planning. The Chairman of the Chief Fire Officers Association, Pat Fleming, has called for the government to provide further funding for fire services across the country. Declan Keogh for emergencytimes.com in Tullamore, County Offaly.